There's a ton of Mystic Arts in the game, and it's a long grind to level them up and get the best value out of them. In this video, I'll show you how to get the ones I think are absolutely essential, plus I'll clarify some wrong info about the ultimate Mystic skill. And like the previous videos, there's also a giveaway in this one. Let's get started. I'll start with this one for a reason. It's Golden Body. Let's find it first. You need to be in Kaifeng for this one, and come here to this place on the map. This monk will not be here at night, so if he's not there, just wait till morning by going to the menu here and choose the sign. Otherwise, it's pretty simple. You rob him of the scroll to learn the ability using Celestial Seas. Now this ability is absolutely insane. It buffs your healing and defenses in many different ways. It makes you an absolute rock. But here's the catch. It costs 60 vitality, and I only have 50. Many of the OP arts will often require quite a bit of vitality, so it's good to know where to get the vitality. There are two main sources to get vitality, and it's a bit of a grind. You need to collect as many oddities as you can find in both zones, because the source of vitality is from some nodes on the passive trees at the oddities vendors. You know the first one because he was at the start of the game, and I mentioned him in my early unlocks video, but simply you have this node, which adds plus 10 vitality, and then further down the tree, there's another one that adds another 10. Obviously, you have to get all the nodes leading up to it, so you need to get into the habit of collecting those little distractions. But that's not the only source. There's a second oddities vendor, which you run into when you first go to Kaifeng. He's not in Kaifeng, he's right outside of it. He's here on the map, and you will find him sitting on top of this roof. And he's interested in the Midnight Nibbler. That's a mouse. And if you drop down right below him, you will find the mouse hidden under these jars. After you get the rat, you'll find him here, and he will give you a pill. Then he will just run away. And now you can find him here in Kaifeng. You talk to him and unlock the tree. And now you have another set of oddities to fill, where you have 2 more nodes of plus 10 vitality each. The next one is Wolflike Frenzy. This one is fairly easy to get. You just need to find the ghost market. If you don't know where that is yet, the easiest way to get to it is through the coffin shop in the bottom right corner of Kaifeng, right here. Once you're inside the shop, walk down here, and on your left is this secret door. Once you're in, you'll be teleported to the entrance. And where we're going is not too far from there. We basically need to go up here in this opening above. We just jump on the walls on the right and double jump our way up. And here we are. We simply run to the end of this corridor, and it's uncontested. You just find the chest right here, and it will have the Wolflike Frenzy. It's pretty damaging, without even any upgrades. You pull out a staff and basically spank your target pretty hard with it, which does pretty good damage to both health and stagger bar. This one you might have missed because the requirements are a bit scattered around, and it's Lion's Roar. You basically have to ring 4 bells to learn this skill. The first you'll come across is probably this one, next to the same place where you learned the Leaping Toad. You come here and ring the bell, and then the second one is not too far away. If you go back here, and over these rocks, you should be able to ring the second one. For the third one, we need to go back here to Buddha's Fort, and we basically need to be here on the map, next to this small lake. Might as well grab the little chest here along the way, and then if you drop down here, there's our third bell. For the fourth and final one, we go here to Wraith Village. And if you go all the way to the south, you will find the final one here inside this courtyard. You came here for a story quest, so for me, for example, I rang it without even knowing what I was doing. But that's all you need to unlock this one. It's pretty okay, it does good damage to both health and stagger, and it pushes enemies away, so as long as they're in front of you, it's a good CC and you won't get hit while casting it. I showed you this one in my previous video, the Flaming Meteor. And in the first set of bosses in Zone 1, there are only 2 bosses who have Mystic Arts for you. The second one here is Free Morph, which comes from good old Tian Yang, and this is the ultimate boss of Zone 1. You can see how to unlock and defeat him in this guide I'm linking up top. And no, he is not Johnny Depp. But simply, what you can do here is go fight him again, and you have to do this in phase 2. You can see the marker only appears in phase 2, and you need to parry his kicks. Once that marker is full, proceed and you'll get this ability. Obviously, this is an amazing fight, and it's pretty challenging, and you won't get this skill on your first go at him. You have to beat him first. But you can also shamelessly drop the difficulty if you don't want to waste time. Just drop into the easy mode and get the parry pop-ups just to get the skill. If you've beaten him already, there's nothing to prove. This is a pretty cool move, even in PvP. It launches enemies in the air and juggles them too. So it's a good CC and it destroys the stagger bar. And it's also not so expensive, it's only 35 vitality. The next one is Talon Strike, and it's here on this little island. Obviously, if you can fly, you don't have to deal with the crowds of enemies in this area, or have to go there via the bridge even. But you have to come down here to this nest, interact with it to start the observation sequence, and then you watch this soaring eagle snatch the food. And now you've learned Talon Strike. This is another cheap one at 15 vitality, so you can spam it a bit for multiple hits. And you can use it to swipe at enemies multiple times, and again, for how cheap it is, it does pretty good damage out of the box, without any upgrades. The next two are kind of a combo. The first one you get is here. If you teleport to Harvest Fall Village, and find this vendor here. He sells a bunch of wines, and your best option here is perfumed wine, as this one is pretty effective. Pretty toxic, but effective. It teaches you the skill if you drink only 4. So you buy the 4, and before you drink it, remember it will wipe you out and make you sick in so many different ways. So it's best to do it next to your local doctor. I'll teleport back here to the clinic, pop the 4 wine shots, and I get the skill. Obviously you need to heal yourself first, but once you do, you can now equip your Jackie Chan skill. Super cheap at 10 vitality, so you can spam it to get a full combo of hits. But before we use it, we better get Dragon's Breath. So we'll come here to East Cross Street in Kaifeng, go over the bridge, and inside here on your left you'll find this dude. Have a chat with him, and then teleport back to main Southgate. Take a left and over this building, and you need to be here. Your target is only there in the morning, so if you don't find him, you can just wait like this. And now he'll appear.
Freshly made kids love them.
Use your Celestial Seas and yank the little book. Teleport back to the first dude, give him the item, and that will complete the Wandering Tale. Wandering Tales are tucked away in the menus, so if you're not familiar with them, you have to go to that screen to get your reward. You'd think they're in the Wandering Path, but no, they're actually in Journal. And you select them here, and you have the tale highlighted, and now you can get the scroll to learn Dragon Breath. Now this skill costs 20 vitality, and it covers everyone in front of you with fire, and gives them a burn debuff. And the bonus here is that that drink works out as a drink for Drunken Poet too. See, if you use Drunken Poet, you drink, and then you get an intoxicated buff, and then you can spam it for punches. But when you use Dragon Breath, you also get that buff. So now, when you follow up with Drunken Poet, you skip the drinking animation, and you just go into the flurry of punches. Without a doubt, the best is saved for last. This is by far my favorite mystic art, and it's absolute cheating. You get Guardian Palm pretty early, but it's in a side quest that you might just not run into. It starts here in the north side of the map, and it's a bit long and not a lot of action happens, but it's totally worth your time. Once you finish the quest, you will get it, and it's basically 3 strong punches if you're on the ground. But that's not the right way to use it. If you're in the air, it becomes something else. The perfect combo here is to use it with cloud steps, or even just jump. Once you do, it becomes a downward nuke that does AoE damage, smashing both health and stagger bars. The best example to showcase this was the Sleeping Taoist, because he has an automatic window for cloud steps where he gets stunned and then he opens up for this ability. So he makes it easy for me to follow up with Guardian Palm from the air. Now here's a tip for using it, because it's different from PC to controller. Normally, if you jump, you cannot use Mystic skills. On PC, you have to hit Q, which is your main ability, and then you can use the Mystic art right away. So Alt +1 or +2 or whatever it is for you. But on controller, you cannot do that. The only option on controller that I could find is after jumping, you do the downward slam, which is L3, and then you'll be able to hit R2 and square in my case to use the ability immediately before you fall down. It's an awesome skill and not very expensive even, at 30 vitality. Technically, the ultimate Mystic art is Dragon Head. There seems to be some confusion, as some people will say you need to level up your arts so it's 35 levels. It is not, that's wrong. It is 35 total. I think the offensive arts are 24, which is the reason for confusion maybe, but it doesn't say only offensive ones. Here's how to check. If you go to your compendium, Chivalry, you will see the game has a total of 40, and I have 33. If we scroll down, we can see Dragon Head is here, and it will always be your 36th Mystic skill. But in this list, as you can see, Still Waters counts, and Abyss Dive counts as well. And even though you can get it, it costs 100 vitality, so nobody can use it at the current time, because the maximum right now is 80. So don't worry about this one, you both can't use it now, and if you play the game normally and unlock arts as you go along, you'll eventually get it. Now acquiring those arts is one thing, but the real grind is to make your favorite one stronger. You need a ton of mats, and as they rank up higher, the mats get more expensive. In the next video, I'll show you the best and most efficient ways to get those upgrade materials and make the best use out of your currencies and weekly vendor stock. Now, which Mystic art is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments. And for the giveaway, I'll keep it simple. Just like, type and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I'll pick a random comment and I'll DM you your key. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.